The term slave is etymologically linked to the word Slav, reflecting the extensive enslavement of Slavic peoples during the medieval period. The Slavic slave trade played a crucial role in the economies and geopolitics of Europe and the Islamic world for centuries. This trade, though less widely discussed than the transatlantic slave trade, shaped the history of Eastern Europe and beyond. 1. Origins and demand. The enslavement of Slavs began as early as the 9th century. Slavic peoples, living in the regions between the Baltic and Black Seas, were targeted for enslavement due to their geographic position and relative lack of centralized states. The demand for slaves was driven by the burgeoning economies of the Islamic caliphates, Byzantine Empire, and later, Western Europe. Slavic slaves were sought for their labor, domestic service, and, in some cases, military roles. 2. Key routes and traders. The Slavic slave trade was facilitated by various groups, including Vikings, Khazars, and later, Italian city-states like Venice and Genoa. Vikings, Scandinavian traders, captured Slavs during raids or purchased them from intermediaries. They transported slaves along river routes, particularly via the Dnieper and Volga, to markets in the Middle East. Khazars, this Turkic state acted as middlemen, controlling trade routes and profiting from the sale of Slavic slaves to the Islamic world. Mediterranean traders. Italian merchants played a prominent role in shipping Slavic slaves to markets in North Africa and the Middle East during the later medieval period. 3. Roles and conditions. Slavic slaves were employed in various capacities. In the Islamic world, they were used as domestic servants, concubines, or eunuchs in palaces. In the Byzantine Empire, some became skilled laborers or soldiers, such as the elite Varangian Guard. In Western Europe, they worked in agriculture, mining, and households. The conditions of enslaved Slavs varied but were often harsh, with long journeys, forced labor, and little hope of freedom. 4. Decline of the trade. The Slavic slave trade began to wane in the late medieval period for several reasons. The rise of centralized Slavic states, such as Poland and Kievan Rus, provided greater resistance to raids. The expansion of the Ottoman Empire shifted the focus of slave raids to other regions. The growth of the transatlantic slave trade in the 15th century diverted European interest to Africa. 5. Legacy and impact. The Slavic slave trade left a profound impact on the societies involved. For the Slavs, it was a period of exploitation and loss that hindered the development of their early states. For the traders, it was a source of wealth and political power. The trade also contributed to the cultural and linguistic exchange between Eastern Europe and the Mediterranean, albeit under grim circumstances. Conclusion. The Slavic slave trade was a significant but often overlooked aspect of medieval history. It highlights the complexities of human exploitation and the interconnectedness of medieval economies. Understanding this history sheds light on the broader patterns of slavery and the resilience of the peoples affected by it.